Hello my friends, if you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. As promised, today I am doing a drugstore starter makeup look. So if you haven't already watched my drugstore makeup starter kit, I'm going to leave it up here or down here or something like that, where you guys can watch and just sort of see what products I recommend if you're new to makeup or you're looking to sort of upgrade your game to look pretty for school or work or whatever it is that, you know, dates, whatever it is that you want to feel pretty and confident for. So today we're going to be doing this look. It's neutral, it's work appropriate. I'm actually filming this in the morning for once. Normally I end up filming in the evening, but I'm filming in the morning because I'm going to go about my day. I'm working from home, so I'm going to be on some Zoom calls today. So this is the look I've put together. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you find this tutorial helpful, and as always, I love chatting with you guys down in the comments. So let's put some makeup on my face. So if you've watched my everything you need for a drugstore makeup starter kit, then hello, welcome, let's get started. If you haven't seen that video and are watching this one first, I'm going to leave a link to it down below or a link right up here, and I want you to watch that because it's going to go over everything you need to start your drugstore makeup collection. Now, one product I wanted to mention that I did not mention in that video because it was literally sent to me like a week ago is this Olay Deep Hydration Serum. Now I know it's not makeup, it's skincare, but I was sent a couple of different Olay serums. There was an anti-aging one, I forget what the other one was, but I'm a dry skin girl, so when I saw deep hydration, I was like, yes, please. And I'm just wearing that some moisturizer right now, and it feels really great on my skin. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to this product before getting into the makeup, because I'm a big believer that if you're not taking care of your skin, then your makeup's not going to look great. So I would definitely encourage you to really work on your skincare routine and find the products that work for you, because they're just going to make your skin look better, and that's your canvas for makeup, right? So without any further ado, let's put some makeup on my face. So we're going to start with my Catrice Hydrating Primer, because I just mentioned I have dry skin, so I like to find hydration really anywhere I can put it in my skincare routine. And I like to apply this with my fingers and just really rub it there. Work it into your nose, under your eye, just really up to your hairline. Work it in. So for our foundation today, we're going to be using probably my favorite at the drugstore, and that is the Catrice HD Liquid Cover Foundation. Now I'm going to shake it up because it is pretty liquidy, and then using the little dropper, I'm just going to put probably one and a bit little bits on my hand. We can always add more, and I'm going to use my fingers to just dot it around. A little goes a long way with this. And then I'm going to use this dome brush from Moda. It's a complexion brush, and I want to show you what you're looking for in this brush. So as you can see, it's pretty, I mean, I used it before, like whatever, I don't wash my brush every time, but it's dense. You can sort of see there, it's dense. It's not like see how this brush, which we're going to use later, like has a lot of movement there. It's pretty dense. Things are kind of thick together. I like to use definitely a synthetic brush when it comes to foundation. And then we're just going to do little circles to just buff it in. Now there are lots of different foundation brushes you can use. You can also, of course, use a beauty blending sponge. But lately I've been really into brushes like this, and I just find it gives such a beautiful, even airbrush type of cover. Now, you can add concealer before or after. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to add just a little bit of concealer now, just under my eyes and around my mouth and there. I'm just going to go back with my brush. If you find that your concealer is maybe too light for the foundation you're using or your skin, you can always add a touch more foundation on top. But our goal is to really just even out the skin. So now for our eyes, I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Putty Primer. And this one really does remind me of MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. So we're just going to get 2 of our fingers just nice in there. And always put the lid back on because that'll dry out. And then we're just going to use our finger to gently spread it all over our eyelid. You know, we're going to need a little more. It doesn't have quite as much slip as MAC Paint Pot. And what I love about products like this is they really do just even out your eyelid. I know for myself, I've got kind of like veins and the skin's really thin and it's just kind of off colored. So I just like evening that out. So for our brows, I'm going to be using my ColourPop brow pencil in Dope Taupe. So I start with the spoolie end and I just sort of brush all the hair up and out. And then I just sort of even it out to be the shape I want. And then I go in with the pencil and I sort of do a little straight line on each end, and then in the middle I do little hair-like strokes. Just a whole bunch of little tiny upward flicking hair-like strokes. When I get to the point in my brow right here, I'm going to start to do little strokes outward. And then I go in with my spoolie and just kind of brush it through, and I might just add a little point or two if I see a bare spot. And you can see it doesn't look all that unnatural, it just looks better. So again, I'm going to do some straight lines, some upward tips, and drag it down. And that is really what I do for my brows basically every day. Now doing our brows now has the added benefit of framing our face for our eyeshadow. So I'm going to be using this little Pixie by Petra palette in Plum Quartz. I think it's super pretty. It's a favorite of my friends. My first tip is never use the applicator it comes with. I just leave it there because it looks cute. But honestly, you can just throw it out. So for this palette, we're gonna start with this shade up here. It's sort of like a shimmery beige, pearly kind of color. And the formula I'm about to describe, you can basically use with any neutral eyeshadow. So you're gonna take that color and put it all over your lid, all the way up to your brow bone. Now, using, again, we're still using that same crease brush. So this has a nice big fluffy dome on it. And I wanted to make it easy for you guys, so I'm actually using a lot of brushes from the same set. We're gonna go in with this sort of mid-tone color here. It's the 4th one from the top. Now you could use a matte, like a mid-tone brown, but what we're just gonna do is tap it off a little bit and build a little bit of depth into the eye. So we're just gonna put that into the crease like that, and then I'm just gonna use that same brush and just the flatter side of it and put it just directly on to my eyelid. So we're doing just a windshield wiper motion, and this is just to bring a little bit of depth to our look. Add a little more on the outside, and then a light dusting on the main part of our lid. Now using the same brush, we are going, now you could just stop it right here and honestly it's gonna look fine. But we're gonna use that same brush and go into this slightly more matte shade here. It's the third from the top. Using just the same brush, just dab it on there, give it a little whack, and we're just gonna put this in the outer third of our crease. And this just gives it that little bit more depth. And that's it for the eyeshadow. So let's get a little closer. That is really it for the eyeshadow. We are honestly so close to being done. So for eyeliner today, I am using this Burt's Bee eyeliner in brown quartz. And all we're gonna do is just sort of line the outer half to outer third of our eye. And give it just a slight little flick out at the end. And then we are going to tightline on our waterline. Just on the upper waterline. Now, one thing you may decide, if you have a little bit more eyeshadow going under your eyeliner, sometimes I just like to take what's left of my foundation brush and just sort of just wipe it away a little bit. It doesn't need to be perfect and clean, but it can just, you know, bring the look together. So for our mascara today, I'm using one of my favorites. It's L'Oreal Lash Paradise. And the way that I like to apply my mascara is I start really close to the root of the lash and I just kind of like zigzag it back and forth, and then when I get to the end, I sort of curl it and flick it out and up. I start on the outside, then I do the middle, and then I do the inside. And doing that little wiggling motion back and forth is what's going to help give you those beautiful voluminous lashes. You know, as opposed to just taking your mascara and just doing this and just flicking it up. Like, so what I've done on this side is that kind of wiggle and like twirl motion. And on this side, I've just gone straight up. And you can see the difference. So we are going to fix this side. I'm going to put a little more mascara on my wand. I like to do kind of one dip in the product per side. So we're going to start on the side, twirl, jiggle, 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 and pull out. And then just drag it along the bottom lashes. Now, if you do happen to get a little bit of mascara on your eyelid, I would recommend letting it dry and then just sort of flicking it off, and then just going back in with your brush and just sort of putting a little more product on there and just kind of evening it out. So now we're going to do our bronzer. Now, bronzer used to be a step that I skipped all the time, but now it is essential to me. And bronzing can double as your contour. I used to be a big contour girl. And it can also just warm up your face. So we're gonna start here on our cheeks and just sort of, and for this we are using the large point brush by Real Techniques. So we're just kind of starting down there and we're just buffing it in. Then we're gonna go up to the hairline, on the nose, and that just gives us just a little bit of warmth. So now, using this, what is this on the back? Powder brush, we're gonna do our blush. And I love a neutral blush. So we're gonna be going in with the Maybelline Fit Me in Nude. And I'm gonna load up my brush, just kind of dab it in there, a little tap off. And then I'm gonna smile and do this and then pull it back out to my hairline. So we're just doing little tiny circles starting on the cheek and just dragging it back to the hairline. Now, I love to layer my blush. You don't have to do this, but I'm also going to go in with Buff from the same collection. And just now we're going to be doing our highlighter. So I've got the Essence PureNude highlighter, and I have my little highlighting brush, and we're just going to rub it back and forth, kind of tap it off, and we're just going to make that sort of almost like a C motion on the top of our cheekbone around our eye. And then we're going to just a little nose, a little lip, and just a little up there, just give it a little. And then finally we have our Catrice Prime and Fine Mattifying powder. We're gonna go back in with that big brush we used for our bronzer. Just give it a whack off and just pat that in there. And we're just gonna basically put this powder everywhere where we didn't put blush or bronzer. I like to really focus on my nose. And just put that under there. So you may want to use lip liner. I don't always wear lip liner, but I do sometimes. This one is Au Naturel from L'Oreal's Color Riche line. If you are going to lip line, and this is especially great as we age, it helps just kind of keep, I just ran out of space there. But anyways, we've lined the lips, and now we're gonna go with a lipstick, and I have the Catrice Power Plumping Gel Lipstick in 040. I think this is just a beautiful, everyday, rosy kind of color. So I just like to start in the middle and just kind of I also have some lip glosses that you don't have to use, but I always enjoy just putting a little dab of lip gloss just in the middle of my lips. I just find it just gives it a little bit more volume, and I find lip gloss is easier to apply throughout the day. So that is it. All the products fit in this little makeup bag, so I'm just gonna put that back there. Fix up my hair. And this is the look we put together. As you can see, it's pretty, it's beautiful, it's appropriate for every day. You know what, it's a look that I feel really pretty in. It's a look that I feel comfortable and confident in. Do you need to do your makeup like this every day? No, but I think this is a really great starter sort of skill set and look if you're going to work in an office, or if you are working on Zoom from home like I still am. I think this look looks appropriate. I think it's easily adaptable. So these are the placements that have worked for me. And of course we all have different face shapes and different eye shapes. So feel free, and you know, I encourage you to just play around the products and play around with what placement feels the most flattering on you. But I think these core colors and sort of theory are going to work for you. You know, you don't need, for example, for eyeshadow, you don't need that specific palette. You just need either a matte or a shimmery cream kind of color. And obviously this is just for my skin tone, so you might need darker or lighter depending on your own complexion. But I like to use a really, really light shade to just go all over my lid. A mid-tone can be shimmery, it can be a little shimmery, a little pearly, or matte in the crease, a slightly darker one on the outside, and sometimes I like to put just more of a shimmer on my lid. So anyways, I hope you guys have found this helpful. I'm happy to answer any questions down in the comments below, and if you haven't already, check out my makeup starter kit for beginners. And if you guys like this, I am planning on doing it again with high-end products, where I'm going to talk a little bit about how to integrate your drugstore products and your high-end products, and sort of where to spend, where to save, where to splurge, and sort of how you can prioritize that. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Mwah.